Hey guys, I was just reading through some of the comments here, and one comment stood out to me that it was a little bit thanking me, and that I appreciate those kinds of comments too. Of course, I want to help people, but it's also nice to know that people appreciate what I do here. VM had such a nice thing to say. He said, uh, why you don't have 50,000 subscribers is beyond me. Well, I do hope that if my messages can help more people, then more people will come to this channel, and then I'll have a lot of subscribers, and I can say, "Wow, I have a lot of people." um, this channel, he said, this channel has been an integral part of my ongoing recovery. I was obsessed with the screaming in my ears, and now it's barely a thought and a hissing at the most. Not only have I habituated, but I have also taken the steps to lower the volume holistically. Some things work, some don't, but either way, thank you. So, wow, that's awesome. I've had a lot of people say that they have gone from being in a place where they're very, very bothered to the point they can't function very well by the tinnitus. And then you wait a little while and they come back and they say that they're better. I don't want to sit here and say it's only me, making these nice videos that help you to do it, but it seems like I'm giving you some good ideas. And because I went through it myself, and I've also been interacting with people about tinnitus for a while, and it seems like it's helping people. So it makes me feel good too that what I'm doing is worthwhile and it's helping people. Yeah, I mean, I also had the loud noise, and it was so bothersome. It was just driving me absolutely, can I say, insane. And I was, kind of insane for a while. And it did seem like it would be absolutely impossible that I could ever be okay with that sound. And here I am now. I mean, I've got the air purifier in the background, but it doesn't bother me. I don't think about it, yet it's the same sound it was before. It's so weird. It didn't seem like it would be so easy now, because before it seemed like it would be absolutely impossible to do this thing called habituation. I don't even, this word is kind of controversial. We don't have to use that word, but people will Google that and stuff, and everybody, of course, would like to do this thing called habituation to tinnitus. But it's really amazing. It really is. It's not just my story, but a lot of people's story where they got better from a really, really bad place. And they also believed that it would be impossible to get where they'd be okay with this. And here we are, So I like to keep telling this story because I know how I was, and I know how bad it was for me, and I want you to have some belief in yourself that this thing does get better. I do believe that it does take some work and some thought about how all this works. This word habituation, you can take it or leave it, but we do have a subconscious brain. And when we're hit with a crisis, our subconscious brain goes into action. And it can do some crazy things to our hormones, our chemistry, where we can get into a very bad state because of that chemistry. We're scared, we're bothered, we're really just hating the sound. And all these emotions we have, it cause a change in our chemistry. Our subconscious brain treats tinnitus completely different than, say, how my subconscious brain is treating it now. And hence, it's so easy for me to deal with it now. But I never would have known that would be possible. And I do think it takes some time, but just going through the steps here, just as a reminder, the first thing is to know that it won't hurt you. I mean, and I have to always qualify that and say, go to the doctor, have them check you. That can give you some reinforcement that you're fine. I mean, there may be that 1 in 10,000 or whatever where you're not okay. So go get checked and make sure you can isolate that you're not the 1 in 10,000 person. And then know that you're safe. You've got the sound, but you're safe. And then second, you're always thinking about it. So probably the first thing you need is that background noise of some kind. You can even play around. Maybe if it's still bothering you, maybe try a little change of background noises and see if that helps, But you can play around with the background noise and see what you can do to get the right sound. And YouTube has a whole slew of sounds, and there's people who have dedicated their libraries just for people with tinnitus to help them find the right sound that will be good for them. Then, like, the brain has this way of really focusing on things. It's really good at that. If you tell it that something is important, then the brain will say, tinnitus and solving it is really important. I have to make it go away. I have to make it go away. And then you're just stuck. I don't want to say that I don't want it to go away. I want it to go away. But by me not being in that thought pattern of it has to go away, I'm able to, again, it just helps my chemistry. I'm not so stuck in this thought because it frees my mind to think about other things. So then as I accept, okay, at least for now, it's not going to go away, but I cannot be so concerned about it. And the combination of knowing you're not in danger, you're safe, and then starting to not be concerned about it so much, your brain can start to tune away from it. And then you're going to go through a whole nother series of things where you get involved in doing some things. Like I recommend things like drawing and learning a language and talking to friends, exercising, anything where you've got to commit your brain to doing something and having to focus on that thing. Because the tinnitus is trying to steal away your focus, and it may take some work to get better at focusing on something else. And as I said many times, you might get 30 seconds of not thinking about tinnitus. Maybe you were listening to me for the last 7.5 minutes, almost 8 minutes. And at least for some part of that time, you were not thinking about the tinnitus. You were thinking about my voice. You see, it kind of works. But you've got to learn how to do it yourself, and then draw, listen to music, whatever works for you. Maybe for some of you, listening to music's the last thing you want to do. That's fine. Sing a song, but just find something that you can enjoy doing, and you can really make yourself do that thing. Like reading a book, you just read every word in that book, and you keep reading that book, and you don't stop, and you try to make it 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and the tinnitus comes back, and then but you keep reading. When I say it comes back, the thought of it comes back. So, and then you can just get better at not thinking about it. And then as you get better and better, you start to get home free. And as you don't think about it, it starts getting easier to not care about it also. So the two things kind of go together, because you really care about it, this sound, because it's bothering you. But as you're able to spend a little bit more time not thinking about it, you get where you don't care about the sound, being so bothersome. And for me, I literally, either I'm not thinking about it, or I hear it and I don't care. And that's totally different than I was before, And so I'm just trying to tell you what I did, because it seems like other people have done it too. And they might have had a little different formulas. And, things like taking care of your sleep with some magnesium. I think someone was recently pointed out, if you're worried about your stomach, because magnesium can cause diarrhea, use I think I pronounced it right, magnesium glycinate. can be really good for if it bothers your stomach. And keep your vitamin D up. Make sure you're doing that, because that can really be good long term for stress and sleep. And get your exercise. Eat well. That idea of, okay, maybe things really suck right now, but what can I do that'll just make me 1% better? And then maybe you should buy a few more vegetables next time, and eat that. It's like anything you can do to just improve a little bit. Are you drinking too much coffee? Could you cut back a little bit? Are you drinking too much alcohol? Could you cut back a little bit? All these things can be good. And by the way, for anxiety, smoking cannabis is one of the worst things to do. And there's good studies that show cannabis is not good for anxiety. And tinnitus and anxiety, kind of go together. So this channel is a lot about anxiety too. So, trying different methods to take care of anxiety. There's people like Abraham Hicks who make some great videos. So, some of the positive thinking coaches like Anthony Robbins I used to listen to. I remember he was just saying, even when the odds seem against you, you're going to be the one that beats the odds. And then I'm going to beat the odds. I'm going to beat the odds, Like, there's always a way you can just get your mind into a better place if you could just get better you have to get better at doing that, Diverting your attention to reading the book or learning the language or, instead of having that negative thought you've been having about tinnitus. And then even putting in nice information about how you'll beat the odds or how your life ahead's going to be great. I haven't done a video in a while about imagining your future. But that's very important, because the future you imagine is like what your brain starts preparing for. So if you can start visualizing what maybe you're going to exercise and get stronger. I've gotten stronger. I started thinking about exercising and how I'm going to get stronger 2 years ago, and I just meditated on that every morning, and then I did, right? So that's kind of cool. And I decided I'm going to learn Chinese and speak it fluently, and I did. I said I was going to go to China, and I haven't. But it's good to start imagining what you're going to do, and then you'll get better, because your brain likes to follow your conscious thoughts and prepare you to do those things. And one thing I hope you're going to plan on doing is not let tinnitus bother you so much anymore, and you're going to find ways to think about other things. So, okay, oh my gosh, I've talked 13 minutes. So I don't know if you got all the way to the end, but good to see you. I'll see you next time.